Thank you very much. I am really honored to be here tonight. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to spend a few minutes with you, and I really look forward to the question and answer time because I feel like it's just a dialogue, a conversation with my friends and neighbors about the future of our country. This truly is, I think all of us know instinctively as Americans that this is a difficult time, a defining moment. There's some big decisions that have to be made. Just to touch on just a couple, presently we're borrowing 41 cents out of every dollar that we're spending. And you don't have to be a CPA or a financial planner to recognize that the consequence of doing that for any extended period of time is truly catastrophic if it's not addressed. And so one of the principal things that I'm doing to help create jobs and get our economy going here locally is to restore confidence in our local business owners that we've really got our federal budget under control. And I am pressing back against the forces in Washington at every opportunity. I try to do so in a responsible, wise way and make clear on the House floor and on our website and on Facebook why I'm making the decisions that I'm making, and that I truly believe will be in the best interest of not only us, but our children and our grandchildren. Energy and our moving toward energy independence is a wonderful opportunity for us, and one that we've got to take advantage of in a responsible, environmentally responsible way, leveraging the resources that we have off the coast of Virginia. And it can be and it must be part of the equation to get our economy going again and to create really good jobs here. Now, you know, you sent a businessman up to Washington, and
that was a good thing.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that. And we just celebrated our 20-year anniversary of our Freedom Fort, and I can tell you that realtors and car folks are attached to the hip. As you go, we go. You know, my former life there, we're still business owners, and I think that's a good thing. Fortunately, we've got a great management team. I spend just literally about a half an hour less each month working with our management team there, but I still have the pulse of what's taking place here in our market. And so I know firsthand that the economic engine of home transactions, both existing and also new construction, is just a pivotal, critical part of our American economy. So the steps that we're taking, I'm taking, and others that have shared values of mine that we're taking, I truly believe are in the long-term best interest of our country. And there's so much more to talk about. We could talk about everything from Afghanistan to Libya to healthcare to interest rates to debt ceilings to you name it. There's a lot to talk about, and rather than me go on, and also just leadership by example, what we're doing internally at our own office to make sure that we set the right example for other members of Congress, and just to make sure that I think it's really critical that we set the right example and set on my compensation and not participate in health care and not participate in the retirement program, running our budget at 8% less than what we were allowed. The Republicans in general are going back to 5%, but we pushed it all the way back to 8% because I said we got to go back to 2008 levels before Congress voted itself an 8% increase in the budget that they run their offices. So these are the practical things that we're doing in Washington, and I'll close with this. One of the great benefits and joys of running and then winning and serving in Congress is all that stuff you used to say to your television set, I get to say on the House floor.
We still say to our television.
That's right. And
I don't think you use the same language.
Yeah, I don't think
well, that's okay. But, you can see some of that stuff on there. I kind of got going there on the House floor one day. I said, the folks that are passing these bills, I said, they don't have a clue what it means to create a job and to meet with a banker and have a banker say, Scott, I can't help you. And I've been through this. And, I get it and I understand it. And what happened in the fall of 2008 when our business just imploded and we were reeling, from what was taking place in the market. This is not theoretical to me. It's real time. It's something I've experienced and been through. So I do know that more men and women who have created jobs and have been in the private sector. I don't want to take a shot at my friends in the audience who are lawyers, but and a dear friend here with Jason, who was our campaign manager, did a wonderful job for us and is a trusted advisor, continues to be. But I do believe that having more folks with private sector job creation experience is making a practical difference. And I'm deeply grateful for your support. I love to listen. I call it the wisdom of the district. And that helps me to make good decisions in Washington. So with that, I'll thank you for sending me up there. I want to be accountable to you. I want to listen. And let's have a conversation about where we're going. I'll give you 2 weeks. And then it kind of went on. I voted against the next one because I said, no, the battle is here. It's right here, right now, this Congress. I'm not going to be a part of this. The battles, it's very seductive. The argument that they use is, well, Scott, just work with us on this. And the real battle, it's always around the corner.
Yeah.
That's how we got into this mess. And so I started voting no every time. And when you vote no like that, you start to meet interesting people. They want to talk to you. And there's something about being 50 years old and being in business for 30 years and having a full and complete life, you really don't care. And I'll tell you, I rewound the tape as I had the very difficult decision about the budget and whether to vote for it, because what's happening, our party and the other party, I'm just going to say it like it is, Jason. I can't help it. I'm telling you, they'll tell you they're not using our military. They're telling you they're not using our military. They do. It's wrong.
That's right.
They're using the compensation of men and women in uniform. Don't let them tell you any different. They want to shoehorn people like me in because they'll say, oh, Scott's in the largest military district in America. He won't vote against a continuing resolution because he'd be voting to shut the government down. And I said, listen, my father's an Iwo Jima Marine, my son's a Marine, I was a Marine, and listen, no one's going to support the military more than I am. I'm a co-sponsor of a bill to pay the military. I looked at John Boehner 3 times at 3 different meetings in the conference saying we must carve out defense and settle that. Do not leverage our, and I got this kind of answer that you really go, what did he say? And so I voted no and on the continuing resolution. Then another one came up. Thank you. I appreciate that. But anyway, we got around to the 38. Remember that discussion about the 100 billion went to 60 billion, then it went to 38 billion? That discussion. Well, I had heard in the conference that we were down to 38 billion. That's the best we can do. I said okay. So, and I wrote all the numbers down on my little. I always carry this with me. It's probably in here. There was another one I have. Yeah, and then I said, okay, so I got back to my office. I said, I want to my staff, I want to proof this number. I want to proof this 38 billion. I just want to see how we got there. That's what people in the private sector do, business people. You go, I want to proof, I want to look at the numbers. And instead of just taking, these little notes from the leadership, and our staff just couldn't get there. And then I said, well, I was running out of time, and so I said, listen, here's what we do in the private sector. I said, Beth, I said, get Congressman or get Speaker Boehner's top budget person on the phone. And they're all their eyes got real big. And I said, I want to meet with him or her and talk about this just so I want to make an informed decision. And I met with the person, and it turned out that, and it came out later in the press, that a lot of this was what's called CHIMPs, changes in mandatory spending. And things like $6 billion that was allocated for the census was not going to be spent, so they were taking that back, and it wasn't really a true cut and true spending. And now some would argue that it is and it isn't, but 18 billion of the 38 billion was just changes in mandatory spending. And I said, this isn't what I came up here for. And I processed as I was making that decision. I rewound all the meetings that I had and all the people that I met along the way, because it was a very difficult decision. And I just remembered why y'all stood with me and why you sent me up there. And I said, I can't vote for this. You know, if we get to something like the Path to Prosperity, the Paul Ryan budget, that's a viable plan. And I'm the biggest champion of that. You know, I'm not a contrarian just to be contrarian. You know, you give us something positive I can go for, like the Path to Prosperity, I'll do it. Thank you, ladies, for coming in. I appreciate y'all being here. So, anyway, those are the kind of decisions we're making. I know there's a reason for business people to be up there, and I want to be accountable to you and listen to you. So let us know how we're doing on Facebook, and that's a very practical way to stay in touch with us. It's REP Rep Scott Rigell, REP Scott Rigell, and if we're headed in the right direction, let me know that. If I'm headed a little bit off, I want to know that. Keep me accountable. I don't want to get up there and I don't want to turn into somebody and say, you know, he got up there and he turned into a different person. I don't want that to happen.